Well, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start this off at a 10 times normal speed and go from there. The thing is that I wouldn't have posted this thing. It's not that spectacular, but I had an interesting interaction with another guy on the other team. It was Squadron 12, or Baltic Squadron 12, I don't know. Anyway, it was an interesting, it was a very interesting interaction. It happened after the game, actually.
Torpedoes to starboard.
I'll tell you about it. But in the meantime, I've just run off here real quickly and captured B. And so then headed off to try to see what else should I do. And come under fire from, strike aircraft. Went down or tried to avoid being hit. Got hit anyway, of course. Was expecting that. There's two different ways of going about this. If you're not very close to the ship sending the strike aircraft, then you want to try to get off at a 90-degree while you're going underwater and try to avoid the most of them. But if you're fairly close to it, a better tactic is just to go under and just keep on going towards them, because they probably won't be able to send their strike aircraft after you effectively. You'll avoid some of that. I mean, if you try to do it, keep going towards them while you're semi-far away, kind of, then you'll just get creamed badly. Because they can just, they'll run two salvos of strike aircraft at you, and then you'll be, under the water permanently. Anyway. Okay, back to a higher speed, this time 6 times normal speed for this bit of a segment, because it's a bit of a slow one. The thing is that I didn't want to come up to full surface because I've got those 2 islands that I'm coming up behind. It could be something on either side of the mast from me right at the moment. So I didn't want to, come out in full view of everything until something was clear. And it was a good thing, too, because as you see just north of me, a destroyer suddenly was there. And if I had been on the surface when I unmasked from the island, he would have seen me, and that could have been dangerous. This turns out to have been our friend Baltic Squadron 12. So I stayed under and pushed off a bit to the south. But then I thought, well, maybe I can do something to him. So I turned around, went ahead and switched to acoustic homing, because you generally want to, deal with destroyers like that, because it's dangerous otherwise. So I set off a nice spread of them in the general direction. Usual tactic, trying to get at him from several different directions, then tried to lay a acoustic tag on him, but didn't work out. But he managed to run right into one anyway, so very good. At least that's what I thought. Okay, now I needed to come up. My battery was getting low, and off to my port side, towards the stern port, there was a Mecklenburg battleship coming up, and I think I could probably take him because he was getting lower on hit points. So I went ahead and tried to get my charge up a bit and outrun my detection radius from him so that he didn't see me. And then we came to the point where I could turn around and with confidence make an approach. So came up to him, took a lower stance in the water, went down to periscope depth, in other words, and tuned in on him with normal non-homing torpedoes, since those are more effective than acoustic homing. And I wasn't going to use acoustic homing on him anyway, because my practice is to only use acoustic homing on other submarines and destroyers. So as we get closer and closer, it's getting to the point where it looks like a good firing solution that he won't be able to run out of, and then I got detected. His air cover detected me. So I went out and fired off the full salvo of 6, went under, followed them in, and there wasn't much he could do about this by now. He could have tried turning into the torpedoes, but he didn't seem to do that, and all 6 of them took him out. So then we were done with that. So back up. After avoiding the strike aircraft he sent after me at that point, but that was too late because I was actually too close for him for those to make any difference to me. So there we are. Now I had originally wanted to go down to behind that island where I'm going right now, because I thought it was a possibility that the enemy aircraft carrier might have picked that spot to hide out from us, but he wasn't there, obviously. In fact, he had pulled off to the south because he knew the battle was coming his way, which was a smart move, actually. If I were doing his thing, that's what I would have done. But chasing him is obviously not going to do any difference, and so I went over there in the direction of the cap in order to see if I could help capture it, but too late. It was already done, the battle was finished, and we won. The amusing part of this is when the battle was over and I went back to port, I found myself being messaged in chat, in private chat, with Balt Squadron 12, and it was, not a particularly enlightening exchange, but indicated something that I thought I'd just want to sound off about. Balt Squadron 12 told me that people with a low win rate, like I have, see that 44% up there, who also play submarines, they are a kind of predator of young children, a particular kind of predator. And made that was it. But I just thought, where does this logic come from? So I got to wondering, Balt Squadron 12, maybe he's 12 years old. Maybe he's really upset about being beaten in that last battle. Or maybe he was born in 2012, which would make him 10 years old. So I don't know what it was. But in any case, this is what he looks like. As you can see, he has a win rate of 60%. That's quite impressive. It's very impressive, in fact. I don't know how he manages it, but he must be a very good player. But he has to get sunk once in a while, so he's upset because I sunk him, interestingly. Anyway, he's only played, interestingly enough, about 1,600 battles. I've played over 10,000. In other words, about 6 or so times more than he has. I wonder what his win rate is going to look like after several thousand battles. Anyway, the funny thing is that he's actually played subs before. As you can see here, he's actually played submarines 3 times. Once in a Salmon and once in a U-2501. Won both times, so fine. But what does it say about him that he plays subs with his win rate? What does that say about him? Well, I don't know. Anyway, it was kind of a fun battle, and especially amusing was the reaction to him. He actually seems like a rather immature young man. I'm assuming man. Most of the players of this game are men. Young men or boys. Quite a few of those, too, I imagine. So, anyway, Balt Squadron 12 also happens to be the commander of a fairly well-played clan, in fact. That's nice. I hope they continue to do well, and I wish him well. May I meet him again on the field of battle.